Okay, I don't remember if I was going to do anything else before I go and try to take on the local gym leader. But... oh, yeah, I have an EXP share now, so... right? I picked up an EXP share last time? Assuming I'm not just hallucinating that? Yes, 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 yes. And I also got a bunch of shell bells, which I'm going to attach to my Pokemon that are well leveled right now. Which, yeah, I guess I'll give one to Rampardos also. Because Rampardos does kind of hit like a truck, so it could really benefit from something like that. But for the time being, I should probably... to say go and locate the gym, but first of all, I actually want to go drop something off from my bag. Granted, I'm pretty sure you have infinite item storage in this game. Oh, yeah, that's not my A button. But... oh. Well, okay then, I can't store items anymore, so I better have infinite storage. I was gonna drop off that skull fossil because we've already used one of those. So that's sort of my upper limitation on those. Yeah, here's the department store. Is there, I was gonna say, isn't there a game corner around here? But it's literally right down here. And the prize exchange is in a different building because of some reason. Yeah. What have you got? Got TMs 90, 58, 75, 32, 44, 89, 10. God, there's so many of them. And I obviously have no coins. And more importantly, I don't know what any of those moves are. So there would probably be a massive amount of save and load involved there. At least for the moment. Just to kind of sort through that stuff and be like, hey, is any of this actually valuable? Oh, yeah, Lears, I did just, you know, same usual time as usual. Yeah, good word usage. Hey, it's this guy. It's Frey Tormenta, which is the name of a real wrestler. I apologize. A luchador, Frey Tormenta. Friar Storm. He was an actual priest, I believe. So, yeah, it didn't update on the... classic Twitch. Barely a functional website. And yet Amazon won't give more of their money to it because they're absolute skinflints, you know? So what's the gimmick of this place? I do not remember. And for that matter, it might be rather... oh, okay, so we just shove these punching bags around and they knock stuff over? Fair enough. I do not recall this from... well, either from Diamond and Pearl or from BDSP, which I believe BDSP used new gyms compared to Diamond Pearl. Which is wild when you consider how otherwise it is very, very faithful. And in fact, that sentiment may only apply to, like, one or two. Because I want to say that the Eterna City? It was Eterna City where Gardenia was the gym leader, right? And their gym used some stuff that was, I think, based on camera angle very heavily in BDSP, but I do not believe that was the case in Diamond Pearl. So I think that one was changed and maybe no other. Which is odd. Especially considering the reputation that we know that BDSP has. But regardless, let's fight these chuckleheads and see if they're worth some experience to us. Nice, Lears. Yeah, to point out, Lears and I have been playing a game called Abiotic Factor recently. It is a semi-recent sort of survival crafty kind of game. And, you know, I've said before, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of survival crafty kind of games, but it has a very sort of SCP and also Black Mesa styling to it that I think is kind of neat. I mean, I wish that it was better optimized because the thing does kind of turn my computer into a bit of a furnace. So, oh, God damn it. Good job, me. Anyway. Yeah, I'm loading it. Don't worry. The robot is going to be functional eventually, the stream bot. That way I can do nothing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to blame it entirely on them other than like, well, God, I wish you weren't using Unreal Engine then, but, you know, it's just like, that's kind of how it goes. What can you do? I did try to dial down some of the settings, by the way, in order to try to prevent it from basically cooking my leg. It's not like my leg is on top of the PC or anything. Not that weird. But it is pretty close because my PC case is under my desk. Oh, oops. I dumped Ice Fang on Metagross. Well, I'm fucking stupid then. Anyway. Yeah, it's because it's on Unreal Engine, like Unreal Engine 5 or something. But I tried jacking down some of the settings. It really doesn't change the amount of heat that puts on any of my hardware. It doesn't also really change very much what any of that's doing with my my amount of resources used either. So, man, Unreal Engine, I swear. I swears. I guess what I can say here is that if you're an aspiring game dev, I don't think I can in good faith recommend the use of Unreal Engine at this particular juncture. It turned into a fighting type. Oh, so that's not going to do double damage anymore. Well, F my L. I'll just hit him with Vine Whip because that should probably hit better. Yeah, good enough. 8 legs. No, that's 6 legs. Unless you count Wings' legs for some reason. Anyway. Back to dealing with this guy. Oh, controller. It does this sometimes. I'm not sure why. Maybe something else is not great with it. It might be my Bluetooth receiver inside my computer. That hazard is that. Well, whichever one is closest to the PC case, because that's where all the heat was getting, was the one that was having the rough time. Melting. It could be. I sure hope not. That'd be rough. I'm in, like, even less of a position than usual to be able to afford replacing stuff. Plus, I mean, we know what the economy is like for PC parts. It's going to shit! And, I mean, God help you if you have to get anything delivered now, because U.S. Postal Service is, due to rising fuel costs, thanks a fucking lot, that guy, is now putting an 8% surcharge on deliveries. So, that's fun. Personally, I think it's because, like, half of the board of postmasters are all also on the boards of more private delivery companies, so they are doing that to try and fuck over the post office more, and it's probably not about lack of fun. Well, it might partially be about lack of funding because they basically aren't funding the goddamn post office because of, you know, the unethical conflict of interest that's involved there, but I digress. Melted quartz to their parts while playing 14 pre-shot. Yikes. That's pretty grody. Also, Vile Plume not only dealing a shocking amount of damage to us with what would have been the minest of min power crush grips that you've ever seen, but also, more interestingly, crush grip, as you may or may not remember, is the signature move of Regigigas. A rather lesser seen move. It deals more damage the higher your HP is, if I recall correctly. And there's a normal type. Pardon me. There's a special variant of it called Ring Out, as in the 5-letter version of ring, W-R-I-N-G, not like what happens in a fighting game when you chuck somebody out of the domain of pain. I'm going to double check that I have that correct while I am in the middle of this. Its power is greater. The more HP the target has. Never mind, not the more HP you have. So that actually would have been of some considerable power. That's like a 121 power move when it hit me. That is not necessarily to be argued with. Oh, hey, look, it's Delcatty. This thing is not really very threatening under most circumstances, but maybe it has a move pool that's, like, completely sick nasty, right? That could always happen. And we could also do, like, absolutely no damage to it. Crocodile, what's your attack stat looking like, champ? 54. That... I mean, I guess that's only a 55 power move, but... What's everyone else sitting at? I mean, 76. Though Duo is higher. Obviously, Rampardos is higher. I mean, yeah, that thing is an absolute champ. Drifblim is equal. Ninetales is 1 higher. So, yeah, Crocodile is not really rocking a great attack stat, but also maybe Razor Leaf is just weaker than I thought. Fuck it, Double Edge. That could be painful, even coming off of Delcatty's stats. But, hey, that means recharge turns, so we can just take the kill here. Even as we spend 99% of Crocodile's HP for it, basically. But you gotta do what you gotta do. We gotta fight for our right to party. And by to party, I mean to get to Feraligatr. Let's send Doduo in to try to deal with Claydol. Admittedly, Claydol might be a little bit beefy to be able to deal with for us, but let's deal with it. Let's deal with what we've got here. Let's get our words together. Because apparently my moves all suck. It's okay. If I'm lucky, Maylene will have like a good TM and I will be vaguely happy. I mean, it won't happen. This is a rando. I know how the TMs from gym leaders in every rando are. They just always seem to end up being absolute dog shit trash. I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like I have never seen anybody play a Pokemon randomizer and get like really top shelf moves from any of the gym leaders. Oh, there's a couple of those dorks over there for some reason. Anyway, let's heal up and then get back to business here. There's that super fast text causing certain strings to get skipped over a little bit. Always funky to see that. Anyway, yeah. Abiotic Factor is pretty cool, though. I like it. Bit of a rarity for that type of genre for me, but hey. Sometimes that's just how it be. What's this about bees? Ooh, now we're coming up to the part of this that looks like an actual puzzle. So we'll see how this does us here in just a second. Oh, did they really overdo those with that too? That's a little rough. Okay, thank goodness Anorith is like really, really fragile. And we can actually kind of destroy it with water gun. Although, yeah, Kraken... The fuck you actually pulled that off. 2 double protects in a row. Okay. That would never happen to me, so... What a load of dingo's kidneys. Let's move forward here. Let's take a look at this, and... Yeah, see, because I'm going to have to knock out all 3 of these stacks of weights, right? So to do that, I gotta do some stuff like this first, I think. Ooh, I have to remove those, huh? Okay, I think I've got it now. Do that. And then go around. I said go around. Oh, fuck. Push the bag. Do our inputs. And do that. I think this is a necessary step. Yeah, because we need to be able to get here so that way we can go push this thing up the midline. It hits the joint there. That leaves us with the third one here, right? So here's where we go and clear out this side again. I guess. that, and do this. That is some very strange behavior for the Dragon Quest HD 2D remake. That's... yeah. Huh. What a weird choice. Anyway, it's time to fight the gym leader. Oh. Maylene is here and doesn't really think she fits. Well, fair enough. That's how it goes. Sometimes you just get hired for a job that doesn't make any sense. Did you apply or no? Oh yeah, this isn't a good Pokemon to have up front. I probably should have gone and healed again, but it'll be fine. Leafeon, I think, is physically defensive, if I recall how these stats work. But yeah, judging by that, definitely. Get some health back. Ivysaur, huh? Well, we're just gonna stay in for that because no big deal. Level 32, huh? I mean, admittedly, that's not small. We might be technically under leveled for this. I haven't been paying close attention to what levels these Pokemon are at. But ultimately, the fact that we have good Pokemon, more or less, even if their moves are kind of a mixed bag, wants to send in Magnemite as the last Pokemon. Well, let's let Don Pardos do a little bit of business here. Because, yeah, even coming off of our much worse attack stat, Earth Power against just a Magnemite, that will do some pretty good damage. We got the Cobble badge from Maylene. Hooray! We can fly. That's the thing that we're able to do that I actually don't always remember about a lot of Pokemon games. And we got TM60, which is just growth. So, see what I mean about gym leader TMs always being shit? Roundy, please. Yeah, I think I may have gotten some, like, acceptable moves from gym leaders once or twice, but that's about it. And that's really not saying a whole lot. So, yeah. We're going to end things at that particular juncture and just be like, yep. That's no good. Where can I get a coin case? Young man next door. Well. Listen, we're probably not going to worry about that for a good long while, but hey. Oh, it's the other next door, I guess. I've seen some of the gimmicky gimmicky episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series years ago. A very long time ago. But we got the coin case from that clown. Yeah, sure. You know what? Give a massage to Crocodile, I guess. Why not? Okay, so what's the deal with these little meteors? Are these meteorites where we change the forms of deoxys, which we don't have, and the odds of us ever getting in this are, like, 0? Oh, well, thank you for telling me where that is, because I wouldn't really have thought about it otherwise. They've got quite the fancy HQ here. Where did they get these resources here? They must be apparently attempting to rob a lot of people, but... Can I fight you guys yet? Or is this a place that I have to come back to later? I think this is a place I have to come back to later because, well, Pokemon games love their backtracking. Especially this far back in the series. But just in case, I'm going to snoop around a little bit anyway. And maybe we get some stuff. Oh, yeah, okay, there's only 2 sides of the map, I guess. I thought there was a third area there. But apparently not. Alright. You want to fight some goons, Lucas? Sure, let's fight some goons. I said goons, not... Wait. No, Poochyena and Honchkrow. Hey, a bit of typal makes sense togetherness. And also, really, both of them being dark type fits for an evil team. Although I don't remember if Team Galactic leaned that hard on dark types or not. I mean, it would make sense as one possibility, but there's almost any option really makes sense. And that Primeape actually has that attack. That's kind of really good for it, actually. Drain Punch. I don't think it would be worth it for me to raise my Mankey by that many levels, but that's still shockingly decent, you know? We'll switch Drifblim in. Yeah, I think that Psychic would probably be the one that makes the most sense internally, just because Psychic is the type that's always associated with space stuff. Flashback to when people were mad about Solgaleo being, being psychic. I used that on the wrong target. Flashback to people being mad about Solgaleo being psychic instead of fire. Because, it's a sun! Soul Rock is psychic rock. And just space-related things in general are, once again, primarily psychic type. So it does actually fit. I swear it does. It's just not what you would expect. Maybe sometimes your expectations should be defied. Right? Oh, he's bouncing. That don't make me very happy. Yeah, Martin and his Soul Rock. That Pokemon. The actual, honestly, probably funniest guy in any of those raids. Hey, good. Thank goodness that Hypnosis missed. Well, that's Primeape dead. This fight actually kind of sucks. I also don't know what the hell I'm supposed to use on Lantern half the time, and like, it's water electric? That's a weird type combination. Also, I swear, whenever I encounter a Lantern, this thing does not die in, like, any reasonable number of hits. And yeah, anytime I use it, it's just like, oh, I'm Lantern, I'm worthless. Yeah, cool, dude, we know you're from Gen 2. So you're basically just kind of coasting off of kids' nostalgia and the fact that you were not quite cool enough for Gen 1. Oh, here's this guy. Yeah, Lucas is just kind of bad at speaking, period. As Looker just drags us into this warehouse. Did we get healed after that fight? Sir, do you not have, like, a crowbar that you could use to bash the door open? Excuse me. Well, I guess he doesn't. We got HM02. Hooray, we got Fly. Technically, it's a move. Although the odds of me teaching it to one of my Pokemon are not necessarily very high. Well, it's the law of, like, evil teams becoming increasingly incompetent or something. Anyway. I think we just go south and we head our way down to the next the swamp town. I think we can just do this, right? Down to Pastoria City, that's what it's called. And then unfortunately, no, we can't just go to Sunny Shore City and, like, work our way towards just being done with effing game as much as I would love to. Although I guess Jesse and James do actually have an interesting set of Pokemon occasionally. I mean, James does have Victory Bell, so that helps. Yeah, Swalot. Acupressure. It's evasive. Fuck you, man. It just did a minimize. That's cool. About to send in Ninjask. So I can hit that with Ancient Power for, like, super duper effective damage, but I do now have to deal with the fact that Ancient Power is lowered accuracy, but I'm gonna try it anyway. As long as we land that hit, that's gonna kill this thing instantly, practically, because Ninjask does not have durability stats. It lived? Oh my god, are you fucking cheating, dude? Come on! Oh right, you did just immediately get +2 evasion off of Acupressure, so that basically is, like, absolute hacks. Shedinja is up next. I'm going to absolutely obliterate this thing and just teach it a lesson. It may even have lost Wonder Guard from the randomization, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to be silly about this, and it's still going to have a flat 1 HP due to how it's programmed. So all I can say here is get that shit out of here! And Doduo is evolving into the slightly more Doduo. No success jingle for some reason. That seems to have been eliminated by the randomizer. I swear to you, it's not just this game being that fucking dour. It's the rando being weird. Alright, give you a lucky egg. Yep. Take that and give Croconaw the 8 EXP share. I was like, the hell is it? I'm real smart. And give Dodrio a Shell Bell. Let's fight this guy. This nerd. Claiming to be a private investigator, which I guess fits with the coin flipping thing of like... I don't know, man. God damn it. Can you please hit a first use of shell smash? Head smash. Rampardos, please. Come on. It's just a hoot-hoot. It'll get squished by that. Thank you for the clip. I appreciate it, Roundy. Feel free to drop that in the Discord. Because I'm not going to say that should live in infamy forever, but also, I mean, maybe a little bit. And also just for reasons of, like, piling that stuff into those places because, hey, I've got a Discord server. May as well use it for things related to this stream. Here's a Magmortar. This is a Pokemon that is way lower level than that dude's other Pokemon was, right? 21 compared to... So I admit I did... Okay, yeah, this guy has 6 Pokemon, so he's probably our 6 Carp trainer. I hadn't even noticed. But that makes a lot of sense with the fact that this thing is only level 21. Magmortar in a non-randomized game tends to be considered to not be that amazing. And, I mean, it's a Pokemon you have to trade with an item, so... I think when that sort of hits, it's like, ooh, geez, how is the... How can you put me in that sort of a position, right? You're seriously gonna put me in a place here where the juice is really worth this little of the squeeze? Which, by the way, no, is not a reference to the Juicero machine from, oh my god, that's fucking years ago. And can you believe that we're still just getting the absolute worst and most useless shit from startups ever? Answer, yes, of course you can believe that. Anyway, on Tuesday, OpenAI killed their Sora application, the thing that they used to, people used to make videos. And we were all, and everyone clapped. Except almost literally, actually. Wasn't there... Wait, when was the... Okay, I'm sorry. I was having a bit of a brain fart moment because I was like, didn't they just announce another Master Duel ban list a couple of days ago? But no, that's OCG that I'm thinking of. But I suppose in my tiny little pea brain, I'm just like, those should probably be identical, shouldn't they? And Crocodile wants to learn Screech. I think your prospects are starting to come to a screeching halt, bro. Which is tragic. I love Feraligatr. I hope he gets some good moves once I evolve him. We'll find out. I've got a couple of physically oriented TMs, I think. I could probably, if I'm lucky, teach him something. Ah, yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has speed duels and rush duels, which confuses the hell out of me. I bet some other people are like, what the hell do you... What do you mean? Also, so... I just hope I'm not alone on that one. It'd be a shame if I was the only stupid person in the universe. I mean, we know that to be true, but also... That Azrael was not worth it. Anything, basically, EXP-wise. Let's learn what now? Weather Ball. I'll pass on that. Weather Ball has some very interesting implications, but I really cannot use that. God, I wish I knew where there was a move relearner, and for that matter, that I had the appropriate materials to feed a move relearner to be like, hey, can this guy learn anything? I mean, hell, if I could do that, I could teach Blast Burn to Dodrio. But let's see. Head Smash. That's not really the best idea, but let's take a look anyway. Yeah, you can learn Head Smash. You know what? 80% accuracy. That does upset me slightly, but Ancient Power, take a hike. Let's take Head Smash. I don't like that it's a recoil move, but you know what? Fuck it, dude. No Dizzy Punch for us, though. Wing attack? Do you count as having wings yet? No. Bug Bite. It's not great, but... and you still can't learn it. Son of a bitch. Ice Fang. Hey, Dodrio can learn it. You know what? I might dump Shadow Sneak for it, as much as I love my priority moves. Do I really need that? And also, Bite is basically the same coverage. Not exactly, but very close. Anyway, Shadow Punch, no Shadow Punch for you. Damn. And that's about it, actually. Well, we taught it Head Smash. I guess this is technically an upgrade. But I'm sad. Oh, excuse me. What's our money situation look like? We have 26K. That is not enough to actually get ourselves to any of the TMs I would want to check out. But maybe I have some items I can dump. I mean, if this was Scarlet, I could just go and walk around in the middle of nowhere for 10 minutes and get a couple 100,000 immediately. And then be able to go over to the game corner and be like, hey! Let's just start dumping some shit that we're not going to need. Like, I'm not going to need these Everstones. I'm not going to need that thing. I'm not going to take another thing from the Skull Fossil because we've already got one. Metal Powder is as worthless as the returns are on that, to be fair. Charcoal is worth so much money that I'm actually going to sell it. Well, I'd have to luck into getting Payday then. Lax Incense is not my speed. Flame Orb, we're not going to get anything to use that. Nor these Sticky Barbs. I am going to hold on to the Thick Club and the Soul Dew just to, like, hold out hope because I was dropped on my head as a child or something. I don't know. In theory, it could turn out to be useful. I'm not saying it will, because it probably won't, but you know. Can we get some, like, really terrible... Well, the berries aren't really worth anything anyway. Oh, plus we got a couple of males that we can sell for a grand total of 100 across those. Red flute. I usually just switch, so I'll just sell those. Yeah, we don't really have a ton of cash. Well, I'm gonna go recheck the prize exchange and see what the cost of any of the TMs are. I'm sure the cheapest starts at like 6K or some shit. Which really does mean that the costs for these are kind of like buying the TMs in black and white and etc. Yeah, 2,000 for the cheapest. And they go all the way up to 20 grand. So with the exchange rate on coins, that's 40K to get the cheapest one and 400K to get the most expensive in terms of regular Pokemonies. What's this hole in the wall? The Ruin Maniac Cave, huh? Yeah, whatever you say, dude. Ooh, 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 ooh. Please be able to learn that for Alligator, because that would be much preferable to Water Gun. That's for fucking sure. Oh, man. Damn it! Also, Dodrio being able to learn it for the third priority move in Dodrio's learn set. When honestly, it's so fast, it probably doesn't need any. Oh, hey, Sneasel. Actually, this is the thing that you probably would need a priority move for, even with Dodrio. So yeah, immediately disproven as soon as I say anything. Funny stuff. Throw a quick claw to really sweeten the deal. Yeah. Yeah, I like the way Snurp thinks. Okay, we got some smashable rocks that we can use to just dodge that, that's all. Ooh, a heart scale. Hey, Bulbapedia, where's my move reminder? To know Astoria City, so that's actually where we're headed, so there's that. Well, the TM compatibility is randomized too. I just have like sanity checks put in place and that's it. So just because it can't learn it in vanilla, I mean, there's plenty of, you can see there's plenty of shit that we've had with that. We taught Metagross Wing Attack that way, for example. So yeah. So yeah, we can get that thing out of here nice and quickly. Considering I don't necessarily know that Feraligatr needs this right now. In fact, we'll take it away and just let Rampardos get to 30 naturally before we ever think about any of that. Ooh, Skarmory. Now that's a pretty good Pokemon. That's a pretty good Pokemon, right, Jack? How seriously do we... Well, we killed it with Head Smash, so... I'm not sure if I expected that or not, because... Yeah, Rampardos hits like a truck and it's a nice neutral high jump kick. Oh, baby. 130 power, 90 accuracy. So, I mean... We can still whiff this and die horribly from it, but on the other hand, it is even more powerful than Hammer Arm. And it doesn't debuff our speed for using it multiple times, so in the pool it goes. For Alligator, it's just at level 30 right now. Manectric. Yeah, that we should be able to deal with and just hit it with the old Earth Power. Oh god, never mind, we can't deal with it. Not with Rampardos, anyway. No, learn levels are not randomized, so level 32 for the next move. Gotcha. Well, Metagross, just hit this thing hard. Wow, it didn't kill it by any means. Yeesh. And he's welcoming us to the Bone Club. Bone Clubs in Harmony. That's the name of my crew that are all Cubones for some reason. I have no idea why I went this direction, but, you know, too late to change now. I've chosen this name, and everyone is groaning at this terrible joke. Anyway, we should probably eject from the terrible joke. Let's go back to town. And go get our goofy dinosaur revived. But right now, I mostly just want to at least get Rampardos up to level 30. I'll worry about anything further afterwards. Terrible joke, yes, that's what you come to this stream for, I'm sure. Am I allowed to just tag my streaming game as bad jokes? Because if so, I would absolutely do that. But good. Good. I'm glad. And we got this small bird, which, well, Head Smash at least shouldn't do too much. Well, I mean, yes, I can tag it, but can I have that as, like, the thing that I'm streaming? Because, well, I'm used to it sort of rubber banding you into a predetermined, like, game category or anything like that. Because I think it did that at one point. Or maybe I'm just imagining it did. Right, that's kind of what I wanted to have it set as. I mean, sure, I can tag it as bad jokes, yes, but that's implied I'm a streamer. Wait. Hey, cool, we got a Firestone. Probably not going to end up cropping up too much in this playthrough, but hey, neat anyway. Oh, hey, look, it's one of these guys. Yeah, exactly, which is not really accurate. Besides, we all know that I'm not always that talkative because I leave way too much dead air. Because I'm kind of bad at this, to be fair. But that hasn't stopped anyone else on this platform. Oh, that's rude. Oh, hey, another Pokemon with a move that just raises attack by a single stage. Excuse me. Ah, yes, this was a good use of my time and resources. Bone Rush. Now, hold up. I want to see Bone Rush's numbers real quick. I mean, yeah, it's fine, but I'll definitely take Bone Rush over Earth Power. Oh, hey, we haven't fought this guy. I thought this was somebody else that we had or had not fought. I don't remember. Moltres. All right. Here we go. It's time to use Explosion. Okay, never mind. Maybe it's not going to be Explosion. We're probably going to live through this. Oh, just barely, though. In fact, that jackass was trying to make sure was trying real hard to make sure that it wouldn't happen, and yet still clicked belly drum anyway. You fool! Can't believe you would do that. Yeah, I can actually. Never mind. Oh wow, I'm not used to that heal bell animation being so fast. I'm used to in Pokemon XD where it took like a year. Delcatty. Yeah, this is... I don't trust Rampardos to outspeed it, which means that Delcatty had every possibility of murdering it. Which is a shock to say because, I mean, look at this thing. But still. Oh, there's an item over there. We should probably get that. Pikachu. Oh, reflect. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe we can still bust through it. I need at least 3 hits. Yeah! Excellent. Thank goodness. And Rampardos is at level 31 and about to send in Skizor. Our best way of dealing with Caesar is to hit it with some Sacred Fire, I guess. Wow, it didn't die from that. Well, I guess it probably has good defense, right? And Metagross may just not have great attack for the species. Okay, we can give Drifblim the XP share now. And we will take the Lucky Egg from Rampardos and give it to Feraligatr. And we've got one item over there. I just want to scout how many more trainers there are in this part of the route. There's one, I see. Don't you love it when we spend like 30 minutes on one location? Oh, Voltorb got the Omni Boost. I'd say the rarely spotted Omni Boost, but we got a situation where we had 2 in a row one time in XD. And I was absolutely fucking in shock. As, to be honest, I probably should have been, but hey. Yeah, I'm not sure how it tickles me, but, you know, maybe just like the effect of static discharge or something. Oh, I forgot Signal Beam can confuse. I knew it had a secondary effect, I just didn't know what it was. Because I see that move so rarely. As I get my typical confusion luck. There we go. We finally broke past the RNG gate. Until we accidentally ended up in the other one. Right? Of missing the 95% accuracy Razor Leaf. Because that would also be what would happen to us, really. Oh, hey, Manaphy. Yeah, I think most of us have had experience with the confusion luck being 50% in very large air quotes. Of getting the XCOM numbers, as it were. About to send in Pidgeotto. I probably should not head smash that. Yeah, meanwhile, Ninetales has Discharge, which I haven't seen that moveset in, like, eons, so... At least it feels like it. About to send in Reggie here. Let's send in Rampardos, because honestly, this is probably a bad idea. But I have a feeling we can give this thing a very bad time if we hit a high jump kick on it. I mean, maybe less of a bad time than I'd like because of Curse, but... Ooh, pretty close. Pretty close. Just Bone Rush it so that way we don't end up missing and committing suicide. At least if we missed Bone Rush, it'd just be like, well, okay, probably have to endure another turn of it casting Curse and upping its stats that don't matter that much when it only has 1 HP. Or... It probably had more than 1 HP, actually. Because Regigigas does have an HP stat that is pretty good, if I recall correct. I mean, all of its basic stats are really good. They're just counterbalanced by it having a really unimaginably bad ability in order to try and make it a balanced Pokemon. Which actually just meant that basically right up until they released that neutralizing gas, I believe is what it's called, right? The ability that Weezing got in Gen 8. That's like, okay, up until that point, Regigigas was just like absolute dog shit, completely unplayable. But then they put that out there. And it's just like, oh, well. I actually think maybe you prefer to use Slacking because its stat spread is a little bit nicer, I think. But it's basically, you know, pretty close comparison. It's like, okay, which type of apple do you prefer? Unfortunately, I think most people would probably still think of Regigigas as being, you know, Red Delicious, but... I'm actually quite neutral on Red Delicious apples. I think saying they're delicious in the name is a little bit presumptuous, but that's true of Golden Delicious too, aren't it? It's like any sort of thing that, you know, the disgust for it became widely a thing on the internet. It's overblown a little bit. Like, I'm sure pineapple on pizza is fine. People just... You know. It's the internet. there's no sense of scale involved with anything that anybody is saying. Ooh, scope lens. That is probably not actually that good in this generation because crit buffs have an upper limit that is less than 100% in gens pre-6. These guys, they're an ambush party, and we use the item finder to look for it. Yeah, I'm not finding that here. Further up. Over here is the way to Sunny Shore, so we can't do shit over there. Oh. Hey. No, I'm doing this incorrectly, I think. Yeah, and of course it's behind Rock Climb. That doesn't really surprise me, but I wasn't sure. So we can't deal with that side quest. But to be fair, side quests aren't necessarily a thing that I'm here to complete in this playthrough. My goal is only to beat the champion. Oh, hey, look, another scope lens. Now, if only we could just start duct taping these things together. And we could start getting Farfetch'd worthy crit rates. Which would be the only way Farfetch'd would ever be able to do any damage, but I digress. The Lepa berry is actually kind of a useful berry, considering. Let's try to take this thing out here. Nightshade, huh? Oh, at least it's only a flat 25 day. But that is probably pretty good for Voltorb. Voltorb, not known for its defensive, offensive stats, or really any of its stats that aren't speed. A Zelf, that is a psychic type. And our best source of damage against psychic types is Rampardos, actually. Because he's got Mega Horn. Ooh. That's only just barely over half our HP, though. I mean... About to send in Dragonite. Fuck, I didn't get nice move again. Fuck. Oops. You don't have a... No. Nobody here is packing one of those, so I guess for Alligator, just get in there and... give him the old head smash. Ah, shit. Well, interesting that we're outspeeding this. I wouldn't expect us to outspeed Dragonite. I mean, even with the 6th level advantage, for Alligator, notably, is kind of slow. Weezing probably does not have Levitate, so we could take care of it with that if we wish to, but I'm also just going to send Ninetales in to get some experience. Some nice low-cost EXP. Oh. Uh-oh. That's a Shadow Force. I mean, I suppose it could have been Phantom Force, but... thankfully it didn't do much damage, but that was kind of worrying. Oh, you're not even a trainer. I thought you were. I didn't mean to move that far up. Figures. Snow Runt? Nah, actually I'll switch for that. For Alligator, probably shouldn't be at the front right now because of low HP, but... I need Rock Smash to get that item. There's a lot more places where they're like, hey, they want you to have these HMs. Well, I don't like that idea. Footprint guy? Huh. Lairon. That is a Pokemon that we can take care of with a couple of different things. But I'm thinking, Rampardos, you go deal with this. Sending Grovyle. That can be handled by Metagross. I mean, I guess Rampardos could probably deal with it too by virtue of Megahorn, but still. This is what I'm going with this time. Yeah, plus there's always the possibility of that. Send in Blossom. That is yet another Pokemon we'll just deal with using this method. In fact, we'll use Sacred Fire to try to absolutely confirm things a little bit. Pick these berries. They may not all be useful, but why not, right? They're here, plus some of them at least can be status cures. So, hey. And this should bring us to Pastoria City here, which I pronounced in a very unusual way. I don't think anybody normally would. Oh, there's just a random clown here who wants to fight. Well, okay then. Why not? And you've got a Venomoth. That's only at level 23. Did I do this in the wrong order or something? I'm starting to wonder. Wants to learn Glare. No. Heal up again, even though we probably don't really need to, but hey. Nah, I don't care that much about the music to just go back and switch out of hand. That's a Safari Zone advertisement. Where is the... Oh, I guess the Move Reminder's house isn't labeled, huh? So am I gonna be looking around for this fella just like everywhere? Well, this person gave us a Choppleberry. Those are not very reliable in the randomizer due to moveset randomization, but hey. There you are. You want the heart scale. Okay. So, for Alligator, what can you learn? Draco Meteor, Rolling Kick, Mean Look, Steel Wing, Thundershock, Toxic, Poison Jab, Flatter, Magic Coat, Psychic, Weather Ball, and Glare. I mean, well, shit, what do I pick? There's a lot of options here, and most of them are pretty mid. But, like... I'm kind of tempted to pick up Rolling Kick. I mean, it's not the best, really, but it'd be alright. Poison Jab is pretty solid. There's a lot of... There's not a lot of things that are weak to it, but hey. And then there's a ton of special moves, which are not really for Alligator's speed, to be honest with you. Steel Wing is not really a great choice. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Rolling Kick here. And we're going to dump Double Edge for it. Like, it's still not ideal, but it'll work for now, I think. Got a Person Berry. Yep. Got some Nenab Berries. Those are not nearly as useful as Person Berries. Okay, no, we healed already. Oh. Oh, this fucker is here. Of course he is. This very annoying little guy just ambushing me in the corner here. Opening up with Toxicroak. And think I literally just passed on a Psychic move. Well, alright. Metagross, you still have Psycho Boost, so you can turn this guy into paste. God, look at that dopey drawn-on, like, almost mustache there. About to send in Beautifly. That is what I believe we technically refer to as barely a Pokemon. So, Rampardos, you can just make this thing explode, right? Give me old Dynamite Heady. Come on. Although, yeah, level 36, we must be a little bit behind on levels, which feels insane because we fight like every trainer. And practically every wild Pokemon, too. Slacking, huh? You know what? Rampardos, stay in and give this thing a swift kick in the high jump. Okay, never mind. That's not gonna work. For Alligator. You got Rolling Kick. That'll do at least some damage. Unfortunately, I really don't think we're outspeeding this effing thing because... yeah, we're not going to be able to do any, like, flinch stuff with that. Drifblim. Get in there, and you've got something you can do to this, right? I mean, we can hit it with Draco Meteor. And that, honestly, didn't really do a lot of damage. Nor did that, unfortunately. Well, the upside here is that it seems to be trying to use Spite against me, thinking that because I'm a ghost type, it would do super effective damage when it's not a damage move. Or maybe I'm just hoping that it's getting into the sort of Twitch Plays Pokemon loop. It's probably not. More importantly, we can just switch back in. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's just instant death for Dodrio. Drifblim, you don't have Draco Meteors left anymore, do you? So that won't do any good because of... he's using fucking Destiny Bond. Of course he is. Because he hasn't killed enough of my party yet, right? And uses an item to raise his special defense. Good Christ, man. Do you really need this to be your thing at all here? Thankfully, we switch into Avalanche and not take a whole lot of damage because of Ninetales. And Destiny Bond should have... Fuck! God damn it! I hate that... well, okay, good. Our Ninetales dies from this, so we don't get any experience. I'm gonna drown this fucking child in the fucking swamp, dude. I hate you with every fiber of my existence, Barry. You annoying little prat. You're actually now upgraded to the worst rifle. You annoying fucking vermin. Listen, at least Silver may have been an edgelord, but, like, that's a minor crime, you know? You're starting an X Rando? Well, I'll give you credit. You're gonna be dealing with better rifles than I am, so I support the idea wholeheartedly is what I'm saying. In a more serious way, I'm sure it will be fun. I hope it goes well. Irene, get down. Well, people probably do know how to do model swaps in the 3DS games, so... Anyway, my jokes aside here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, folks. I think it's getting foggy over there. So, real quick, I want to demonstrate the swamp here and show off that it's awful. Apparently, you're supposed to be able to see the, like, which of the mud spots is so deep that you'll get sucked in. But is this just like the whole area, basically? I think the fog might be interfering with that. Anyway, I forgot what I was up to, and it was going to go visit this guy, because I'm willing to bet this guy's going to actually be pretty tough after what we just dealt with. So I'm going to save, and that means that I'm actually saving before the end of a stream on one of the, on part of the Platinum Rando. And okay, this gym layout actually looks kind of familiar. Well, the basic conceit here anyway. We're going to try and find ourselves... yeah, I'm just hoping that Crasher Wake isn't necessarily too rough, but after seeing those level numbers on the rival, that does kind of put the fear of something or other into me. And Skarmory, that is not a good Pokemon for me to see at practically any point. But let's give him what for here. Well, thank goodness Rain Dance didn't seem to debuff the damage on that, so that's good. Wants to learn Nasty Plot. That's a fun thing to have, actually. Unfortunately, I think I like my moves. Well, Shadow Punch, I can get you back at any time, really, so... That, unfortunately, was not helpful. That's no good. And that raises up to about the middle height here. Oh, right, no, I see where I can go with that. Should be able to fight this dude. Yeah, I mean, what would he be doing in the gym if he wasn't a trainer, right? Or the guide. Actually, I think it would be interesting if there was a case where it's like the guide was just sort of stranded in the middle of the gym because one of the puzzles messed with him or something. Lopunny is... Oh, we're not going to hit that. Oh, thank goodness you switched immediately to Zam. Yeah, the fact that we did that much damage to Alakazam in that case is just, honestly, by virtue of the fact that Alakazam has no defense. Oh! Oh, I made a bad decision. But I got away with it somehow. Shocking, actually. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get a kill. Yo, good choice, buddy. And it only landed 2 hits. Woohoo! Never, ever punished. Oh, how the fuck did that happen? That's actually an impressively smart switch that this guy made, though. Like, I have to give credit where it's due. That's one of the better moves that I've seen the AI do. Of course, now we get to sit around here looking at Lopunny minimizing. And roosting. Oh. Boy. Don't like that. Actually, what the hell am I doing? Ninetales can hit this thing better with Aura Sphere. On the other hand, I can also just Magnet Bomb for reasons of being mean here. Oh, you've got enough to roost. We'll end up being able to live through that. Well, I suppose I can just burn Roost PP for you, champ. Hope for a crit. This only has, like, what, 10 PP? I don't think it's updated all the way to Gen 9, having 5. But it might be. Incredible. Maybe it is down to 5 PP. Well, it wants to learn Dive. That is extremely interesting, but no. And plenty of experience to go around to everybody. No, not the bag. We'll take the EXP share from Driftblim and give it to Ninetales. And put Metagross up at the front. Because the Grossman is pretty strong. At least on paper. Okay, yeah, this was supposed to be... The water level started in the middle. That's right. It's like, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. But no, everything's fine. Nope, it's airtight. About to send in Mewtwo, huh? Well, we'll stay in. And we'll just chuck out some Magnet Bombs, because I know that those will actually hit. Sacred Fire has 90% accuracy, which is just low enough to be like, don't think I trust like that. Mirror Move is a very Mewtwo kind of thing, but I don't think it ever learns that, especially because that's kind of considered to be sort of a bird thing. I believe Mirror Move's Japanese name has some sort of reference to parrots, which kind of explains why it's flying type. Tangrowth, well, we can stay in for that too. Yeah. It ain't perfect, but we landed a burn, so that's technically more than half damage. Ooh, that's not a very frequently seen move, and you can see it's not doing anything for you here, buddy. Alright, reduce the water level before I fight this guy. Just to really rub it in, you're doing a bad job of guarding this thing, champ. Masquerain. Masquerain would die hilariously to a rock-type move, but this will do too. Especially because Masquerain is not really what you would call a defensive powerhouse. It's got some going for it, but that's not much. About to send in Girafarig. Now, Girafarig is strong enough that it'll probably make me suffer a little bit, because I always feel like this thing always kicks my ass way more than it should. But we'll send in Dodrio anyway to bite it a couple of times. And we should be fast enough to outspeed it. And Dark is the only thing it... Oh no, it's also weak to Bug. Never mind. It's like it's the only thing it's weak to. No, I'm stupid. That's gonna probably kill. Because, yeah, Girafarig has respectable special attack. That's a shame. That's Rampardos, get in there and finish this thing off. Give it the old Mega Horn. Which in this case is honestly more like Mega Lump, but hey. Sending in Bayleaf. Metagross, why don't you deal with this? Just give it a couple of wing attacks. Very nice. Alright, lower the water level. No, I guess not. It didn't seem like we could do anything this direction, but there we go. Maybe I just didn't look down far enough. In fact, I probably didn't. Go around these guys. And hey, we're almost done with this gym. I wish I wouldn't have to redo the puzzle if I went out to go heal, but hey. Yeah, thankfully that thing has glass bones and paper skin, so it goes down without anything to worry about. Quillfish, however, well, we got Psycho Boost. That'll fix its hash. Yep, see, one and done. Send in Ariados. Well, we can just stay in and just stay the course, you know? Can't change horses midstream or something like that. Not with that attitude, you can't, but... Metal Burst, huh? That's... painful and very interesting. Metal Burst is a much weaker counter that counters both physical and special attacks, if I recall correctly. That is a thing that Aggron learns. Oh, that's like worthless, actually. The energy powder? Yeesh. Anyway, we're gonna feed some potions to Metagross instead of going through the puzzle, just because I would be annoyed doing that. We'll even use a revive on Dodrio. I know, huge shock I'm actually using the healing items. I almost never do that. Except in Scarlet Violet, where they give you so many of them. Yeah, let's do it. I'm Crasher Wake. Ooh, yeah. Or Mike, as the randomizer has decided to make him. starting with Nidorino here. That should probably get... Oh. Well, first we'd have to actually hit, but if it weren't for that, we should be able to toast this thing with Psycho Boost, right? Just a complete one and done. We're on the level with this. Yeah. We're on the square and on the level, so, I mean, that thing is going down like a sack of potatoes, right? It's almost got to. Ponyta. Now, we've got several options for dealing with that, and in this case, I'm sending out Rampardos, I think. Level 37 Ponyta. Wow. That is pretty serious. Also pretty serious, the amount of damage that we took from that. Somehow, though, we lived. Please give me at least one more Bone Rush hit. I'll probably need, like... I could use 4, but 3 is the bare minimum here to not have me cry, I guess. Switch in Drifblim. Oh. I could have just attacked that turn. Never mind. But Bubble Beam will also do some good damage, so good thing that it's sandbagging turns with acid armor. Yeah. If I could use my words correctly, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? But hey, look, it's the only fire type in Sinnoh. Smog is damage. Okay. I was gonna say not guaranteed poison, but we got poisoned anyway. Damn. Oh well. What are you sending in? Breloom. Well, we have a Pokemon that has an attack that will almost specifically kill that thing, so that's cool. I love to accidentally a hard counter to it, an opposing Pokemon. Yeah! Oh, it lived? The meter looked empty. I probably would have realized that as soon as... Because the heal would happen after the fainting, right? Yes. I just forgot the order of operations there. But it really did just hang on with literally 1 HP almost. Well, that went incredibly well. The gym trainers were probably worse. We received the Fen badge because they genuinely were not sure what to name the water type badge in this generation, I guess. Contains Mimic. That is not really very useful to us. Thanks, game. Oh, you again? Can you slam dunk this kid real quick? Slam dunk, suplex. Oh, God. Barry, you are so annoying. I hope you get blown up. Wait. Also, why the fuck does Team Galactic have a bomb? This isn't a Final Fantasy game. That doesn't make any sense. Might be saying that joke is real bad, and you're correct. But for other reasons. Well, Pretty sure we're about to find out. Wasn't me. Okay, Shaggy. Alright, dude. Sure. As he suddenly starts slipping into very British lingo. That galactic gooner. Wait. That's not what you said. Probably. So actually, like, what happened with that bomb? That's... kind of surprised this guy hasn't fought us yet. He's all like, oh, I'm in a hurry. Zigzagoon. I'm not really that interested in this thing. It's not really even going to be worth much experience, is it? So, forget about fighting it. Oh yeah, I probably should come out here with Rock Smash and pick that item up. It's probably just going to be some mail or something. Buddy. Dude, I can handle this. And also, you are slowing me down from a guy whose only skill seems to be running away. Have we considered just clobbering this guy? Yeah, no, he is completely out of energy here. And he's saying his Pokemon will take us out, and he's got an Articuno. You know what? That is a respectable Pokemon that I would, under many circumstances, probably be worried about. However, not this time. Get that shit out of here. Okay, fine. I might have to hit it twice, but still, get that shit out of here. You impress me not in the slightest. Have we considered just, like, taking the package from him or something? Cynthia, now is not the time. Yeah, good luck, kid. You will get chewed up and spit out by them. Pretty severely. Group of Psyduck on Route 210? No. Their heads in their, hands? And she gives us a secret potion, which... what an incredible description that she gave us some headache pills, I guess. What does it say about this thing? I'm curious now. Oh, I see. It's because it's the thing from Gen 2. Oh, see, it's another Gen 2 reference. Hey, did you know that there's Gold and Silver remakes in this generation? And they honestly did not fix all the the problems of Gen 2. They were pretty good, but they didn't fix all the problems of Gen 2. So, is that it, by the way? Is this whole situation just sort of over now? We don't have to deal with this guy anymore? There was nothing major at the Great Marsh. It was just sort of a thing that made a loud noise, I guess. Just an overgrown firecracker. Well, I have no follow-up to that. But I guess we have to go to Celestic Town before we can go to the actual place that we have to go for the 6th gym, which is Canalave City. Yeah, see, they wouldn't really have the Great Marsh get exploderated because in that case, you wouldn't be able to access, you wouldn't be able to access this game's Safari Zone after that point. Strangely underwhelming. Anyway, we are going to deposit Driftblim for a couple of minutes here, whilst I collect Xatu in order to be our HM monkey here. Monkey mule. Monkey mule. Mule monkey? I mean, for a start, I gotta teach it fly and defog. Right, I just remember fucking defog. But mostly it has Rock Smash and also Cut, but we don't have to worry about Cut for a while. I assume that we get HM3 at Celestic Town. After we defog the road up there. And then we get HM4 eventually. Waterfall is the last one that we pick up, probably. And then Rock Climb is the 8th HM. Hey, it's a TM, but it's a bad one. Good. That's about what I would expect, really. Anyway, we're going to fly to... Alright, Route 210 is right there, so we fly to Selassian Town. That's right, we have to go all the way to the north here. And he Psyduck's secret potion. And they all just kind of go, what the heck were we doing here? Let's leave, boys. And leave they do. And then Cynthia reappears behind us. Sure, why not? Okay, well, it's a no bike zone for us here. Oh, hello. Spiritomb, a Pokemon that in this era has no weaknesses. And honestly, is still not really great despite that. It has decent defenses, but no HP. So those defenses aren't really covering up too much, so... Don't feel like switching for that. So I can split up my 2 experience points even harder. Makuhita, meanwhile, this thing can be destroyed with wing attack. And we collect a yellow shard. I feel like we've seen quite a lot of those throughout our Pokemon journeys recently, but very specifically the yellow ones. Excuse me. Oh, Carnivine. I almost said, isn't this supposed to appear here normally? And it's not. It appears in the Great Marsh. And also it has Trace, which is real good that we have Metagross up front, because then it can use Aftermath. And it can hurt us even when it doesn't get a chance to attack. At least we gained some of the HP back with Shell Bell, so that's nice. Ooh, a Claw Fossil. That, I think, is one we've already used, though, but hey. Still nice to find random fossils out in the world. Wild Mismagius may be worth some experience? A little bit of experience. Not a ton. Little bit, though. Yeah, see, here's what I remember. I mean, I remember it being much further down, but that might be a Diamond Pearl thing. And we defog in order to remove the fog. If we don't do that, there will be a fog effect over the map. And every enemy will have a chance of... Well, every attack, rather, will have a chance of missing. And as we all know, that applies much more for us than the enemies, no matter what the game tells us. So... fighting in the fog sucks. A lot. Among the many things that's really awful in these particular games. Excuse me, Regirock, huh? Well, Rampardos can deal with that just fine. I mean, I probably should look for a special attack option, but yeah, and that's why, because Regirock has massive defensive stats. But on the other hand, high jump kick plus Rampardos' attack stat, we're gonna hit pretty hard. Gonna send in Weavile. Okay. Well, Dodrio is going to actually be the option for that one. And because we have our pack mule here with us, we can just cut this bush immediately. And skip over most of this grass patch. Nice. And pick up this completely worthless Nanab berry. Why not? Duo. I'll start throwing around some Magnet Bomb. That should do. Like 1 or 2 hits for this. Probably 2. Yeah. But much closer than I thought. About to send in Wooper. I do enjoy Wooper, but Feraligatr can deal with that. But send in Totodile. Well, that's another easy kill for Feraligatr with Razor Leaf. Wow. Not a one-shot. Never mind. Razor Leaf truly does not pull its weight. I could definitely stand to replace that at some point. Scouting ahead here. Sacred Fire, maybe a one-shot? Probably not, but maybe. Yeah, no, that's going to be a 2-shot for sure. Assuming we land both of them. Oh, dang. Well, I mean, fair enough. I guess Rain Dance is up, so... Double team? Yeah, that's not going to do you any good. I should have clicked Magnet Bomb, I guess, but whatever. We still land the hit, and more importantly, the burn would have killed it anyway, so... Meh. But send in Hippowdon. Hippowdon is a Pokemon that also does not like to go down in a single hit. So we're gonna be here for a minute, I guess. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I know that Razor Leaf is not great damage, but man, look at how little of that HP we're taking down here. Actually, we've got rain still. I'm going to throw out some water gun and see if that does anything for us. Does better damage, maybe. And then I'll just feel like an idiot. No, it did not do better damage. Yeah, 6 turns to kill this thing. And it crit me on the last turn. Of course it did. Yeah, just my luck in this entire rando. Yeesh. Let's send Beautifly. Well, I mean, we could hit it with various other Pokemon, but I'm just gonna have Dodrio gain some experience here. There is another trainer over there, but right now, again, scouting, and if maybe I can get to Celestic Town, then I can just go backwards and clean up the area that way. How close is it? I mean, pressing left twice on the town map isn't really a helpful metric per se, but it definitely makes me think that it's quite close. Oh, this little jerk kid is here, of course. Being a speed bump for us. Oh, this is just for items. I thought this would possibly get us to the end or something, but it kind of makes sense. Twister, that is a really underpowered move, which, again, just kind of makes it one of the perfect things to get a TM of, really, in that case. But potentially usable, I guess. If we just need something that can be used a lot on a strong special attacker. Here's a Rotom-Mow. I don't care if you're a ghost. I want you to die anyway. And I was going to say it wasn't a one-shot, but it is now. I don't know what ability I got. But, hey. It didn't do aftermath damage to me, so that's great. Well, hey, I see trainers are upgrading to Pidgeots. as opposed to the Pidgeotto we saw most of the game earlier. Dynamic Punch would really suck if it ever actually landed. However, it's Dynamic Punch, so not super likely. Electrike. That's a ground type. An electric type, so it's only weak to ground. Pardon me. I was thinking ahead before I spoke. Whoops. Okay, so Celestic Town is literally right over here. Good. We can go heal, and we can... We should be able to box Xatu again, and then we are allowed to have Drifblim get some experience without having to re-defog. But more importantly, I just wanted to heal up. Let's go walk back outside and see what happens. Fuck. More than HMs, I really just kind of hate the fact that the sheer number of them that they want you to use just ballooned. Honestly, why are there 8 at several of these generations? Oh, hey, Celio. I remember this guy because we were stuck with him for a good length of time in Gale of Darkness. Until we got to Walrein. But it definitely felt like our Walrus was Celio for a very long time. Ouch. That was quite painful. About to send in Chansey, so that'll be worth quite a lot of experience for whoever manages to get the kill. You know, for Alligator, you go for it. Yep, one shot because it's Chansey. Pretty good experience. I mean, the experience is still split, as we saw, but hey. Entei to follow that up. Interesting. For Alligator, stay in and try to head smash it. Which should be a one-shot. But might not be. Yeah, it just gets very close. Alright, let's just pick up these items. I think there's a whopping 2 trainers to fight here left. One of them is double battle. And one of them is out in front of an item. Yeah, see, I figured that you were facing that way. Rhyperior. Ooh, boy. That is a big, big nasty. Dodrio, you have Vine Whip also, which is quadruple damage. So I'm really hoping that that'll give us what we want here. Okay, I think we're getting away with this. Oh no, this requires one more hit, because of course it did, because we rolled really high the first time, I guess. Well, alright, that happens. Metagross to level 35, that's very nice. And about to send in Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is easily destroyed by psychic attacks. I think it has like a decent amount of special defense, so it might take a couple of hits, but aside from that, I mean, it's still a fighting type, so easy enough. Yeah, it'll take 2 hits. That's fine. Hey, that's the wrong ice type move for you to be using. A choice scarf is probably not going to be a thing that I use, but hey. Cool that we found one, I guess. The choice items are generally kind of interesting. Let's give Feraligatr a Shell Bell now. Because, I mean, good amount of experience, but we could definitely stand to have it heal in battle, because it's doing stuff now. It may not be the best member of my team, but still. Yeah, this admittedly is not the greatest set of Pokemon for us to be facing off against with this pair, but hey. Staraptor will take neutral damage from this, so let's go for that. Because I don't want to just head smash, because that will kill us. I want to get some health back. Sacred Fire. And rolling kick, fine. Gastro Acid, that counters the Pokemon's ability, which is fine. We were not going to do that anyway. We were not going to be proccing Aftermath, because, or at least we shouldn't be proccing Aftermath. Yeah, good enough. And Ninetales grew to level 35. That is excellent. Because Ninetales has pretty decent stats and that incredibly good move pool. Well, there we go. We're done there. Can I finally put Xatu... Well, I can't finally put Xatu away exactly because I need to fly somewhere after this. Well, birds are still kind of related to dinosaurs anyway, so. Oh, cool, we got a Great Ball. Thanks, dude. I don't know if I need that, but thanks anyway. And somebody's gonna go blow up the ruins, apparently. Well. God, these Team Galactic guys have access to a lot of explosives, huh? Burn, heal, never melt ice, wide lens, and life orb. Life orb might be interesting if we didn't have so many goddamn recoil moves to begin with. Some other time. Actually, you know what? Sure, tell me about it. I'll just auto-scroll through it, but hey. Yep, some more Sinnoh lore, which is very heavy on the folklore stuff, but if it weren't for the fact that the rest of the game weren't really incredible, and some of the region design is kind of butt in terms of gameplay, I might be a little bit more like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, I've never really liked the Sinnoh games, just in general, in terms of gameplay, so... Oh boy, a Hondu berry. I probably should have taken the berries out of the item rotation for the randomizer, but... Oops. You got this very traditional-looking little shrine. Let's fight this guy real quick. Dialga wants to learn the move Flying Press. That's pretty fun. And meanwhile, this guy is like, oh, I'm gonna blow things up. You want to fight me? And I'm like, yeah, I can take this guy on. I do not remember Team Galactic trying to blow this many things up, to be honest with you. I don't think I remember much of the lore about, well, lore. I don't remember much of the main story about this region, period. Let me use the correct version of the word here. Oh, there probably is one somewhere, but you just find it eventually at random. It'll show up, because I say things like that often enough anyway. About to send in Pinsir. We can take this on. I don't even care that I'm paralyzed. I'll fight through this. Okay, that might do some damage. Yeah, it did a pretty good quantity of damage. I guess I just have to bank on not getting critted this turn, because he's probably going to do it again. Use Destiny Bond instead. Well, I mean, that kind of accomplishes the same thing that I thought was going to happen, just in a different way. In a way that kind of makes me a little bit less happy. Yeah, here. Take this thing. I'll go look at the ruins in a couple of minutes. I want to go revive my dead Pokemon. That would be the sort of thing that I would write about. I mean, maybe not literally, but close to. Anyway, oh yeah, the specifically just the painting on the wall. Because we have to learn about this, I'm pretty sure, in order to advance. Oh hey, it's It's Ansem again here. He's here to... He's here to spout a bunch of nonsense about all of this. And I guess it's time to actually fight him for the first time. I didn't realize that was this soon. As he has Darkrai as his lead Pokemon. I'm giving that one an ooh, so close. Barrier. Oh, shit. That is rather problematic because I don't have... Oh, no, I can just... I do have something that can deal with that. Never mind. I can circumvent it with Aura Sphere. I'm still thinking in terms of like Gen 3 where attack types are based on their damage type is based on the attack type. There we go. At least in some cases. Not all of them, obviously, but my brain is bad. I suppose I'm not surprised that thing lived, but Vital Throw, huh? That's an interesting move to see. Also, we didn't even do half health. That kind of worries me. Yeah, because of that reason. Oh, that didn't do very much damage that time. Oh, damn it. Well, Rampardos. You have very little to do here, but throw out some Bone Rush. Electrode is a thing to switch into right after I do Bone Rush, right? What a choice. At least it's cursing, so we have a fair chance of actually just outspeeding it at some point if it keeps doing that. And its defenses are not amazing. I mean, it's taking a good number of hits there, but to be fair, in its defense, Bone Rush doesn't really do a lot of damage per hit, even if it is coming off of Rampardos' stats. And I mean, it's gotten at least some boost from Curse. Let's not count that out completely. I'm just going to talk shit about it a little bit. And it's doing this, of course. Come on, miss! Never mind. Well, I had some choice words for you right now, dude. God, the amount of Destiny Bond in this playthrough, too, is just like a little bit disgusting, actually. Darkrai. I don't know if this is going to be a one-shot because it's at, like, a quarter health, but... Oh, of course, we drop it down to almost nothing, but only almost. How bothersome. Honestly, I feel like the randomizer specifically needs an option to disable Destiny Bond from the randomization, because you can't predict it always. Like, if you don't know about it, you just lose a Pokemon. it's really cheesy. To an extent that, like, it's actually quite possibly one of the most severe forms of cheese in this entire thing. Like, one of the worst ways you can get fucked over. Anyway, we got HM3. That's more important to consider. Yeah, exactly. And again, a big part of it is just you don't know if it's going to happen with some Pokemon unless you already know from it being in the moveset. Then that's a pretty big issue. Okay, yeah, Sludge is not really very useful, so we'll dump that for Surf. And we will also be giving it to Driftblim once I actually fly back out to Jubilife City. At which point we can actually get Driftblim back out. Yeah, exactly. One-hit kill moves are counterbalanced by their poor accuracy. And changing that requires a large amount of setup. Meanwhile, Destiny Bond is just like, oh, you didn't successfully account for this? Your Pokemon gets erased. Oh, what? You didn't do the 5 turns of doing the switching Pokemon P dance so that way you could avoid getting hit by it? Well, sucks to suck, nerd. I'm gonna save. We're hitting the saving a lot of data here. Because this is probably a good place to stop. I mean, I guess I could get to Canalave, right? That won't take too long. But we'll save anyway. Because we are at one of those saving a lot of data points. Maybe it will lessen the amount of time taken to save at the very end. I don't know that I would hold my breath, but holding your breath in general is probably not a good idea, really, so... Out we go. We take off from the docks and immediately get into a fight. With Piloswine. You're not the Zubat of the Seas. It's probably good, actually, but... Alright. Yeah, Ninetales, you don't need that anymore. What am I doing? Instead, we will give the EXP share over to Driftblim. And meanwhile, put Rampardos up the front and give it the Lucky Egg. Pity the level is so low, so it's not really worth any experience. Oh, I don't think I have a great move against this right now. I mean, I could switch over to... Ugh. Yeah, okay. I could switch over to Dodrio to deal with it, and I guess we're getting forced out here for Driftblim, which is not the one that would really help us out too much with this, but we can also just do this. We can express our rage by using a massive overkill move. I was gonna say which better actually kill, otherwise I'd be really upset in that case. I get some Metatite, please. Please. Gulpin. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna send Rampardos in there and it's just gonna sit around until we can land Bone Rush again. Isn't this exciting? As it just slowly chips us with Tri-Attack. How much damage is that doing per hit? Not a lot. But still over 10, which is a shock for Gulpin. Using an ineffective move. Oh, this guy's got a lot of Pokemon, huh? Alright, just head smash this thing. We'll probably live. Well, I guess we have to actually land the hit. Stealth Rock. Oh, boy. That way, if I switch a Pokemon in, it's got to pay the thumbtacks. You get it because it's... you get it. On the other hand, that would probably make more sense for, like, spikes or something. Also, of course... Yeah, this will probably kill. Because Blaziken has a real attack. That's right, it's special. But it would probably kill anyway. And, of course, Stealth Rock is special because... for some reason... that I don't understand, it takes type into effectiveness into account. Why? About to send in Yanmega. Well, I'm not switching out as... I'm avoiding switching out as much as possible here because of fucking Stealth Rocks. And this guy's hitting with Focus Blast, which, you know... 70%, etc. I wouldn't hit this often. Well, probably not anyway. On the other hand, he did get only 2 hits with Bone Rush, which is much nicer than I would expect to happen from the AI Pokemon, because, yeah. About to send in Shuppet. That is a Pokemon where I don't really care too much about having to even try to hit it super effectively, because this thing is... made of chewing gum and hope, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Just completely splattered. And Rotom, which doesn't tell me what form it is at all. It could be anything. Ah, it's the refrigerator one. So Sacred Fire is probably actually the better bet because, yeah. Magnet Bomb is neutral damage because electric resists steel, which, I mean, kind of makes sense, but I think the other way around would make more sense, right? At least so you would think. But there's all that stuff is like side material, right? Oh. Display images. I mean, it couldn't do that before. Well, whatever. We got to Canalave City, which was kind of my main goal here. Where is the Pokemon Center? I think it's on the other side of the bridge. No, it's literally right there. Never mind. Gonna be honest, I thought it would be on the other side of the bridge for reasons that are... Pokemon Centers and Pokemarts in the generations where those existed as separate buildings generally tended to feel a little bit far apart. And since the Pokemart was over here, it'd be like, well, surely they would put the Pokemon Center on the other side of the bridge because it would put a gap between them. And on paper, that feels like that makes sense to me. The Rando market doesn't have a whole lot of anything interesting, and one of them is literally an item that's already in the shop. So, big whoop. But yeah, we will complete the rest of that route next time. And also carry on with, there's a gym here, there's plot and stuff. And then we get to deal with the long haul up to Snow Point. But that'll be for next time.